Hey guys, it's Erin. I just wanted to pop in and do a Facebook Live about 3 meals a day. What's the big deal about it? Like, why does it matter? Why is the whole snacking thing no longer cool? Because for years and years, we heard we can never be hungry, right? Hungry is bad. As soon as you get hungry, you should have a snack. Oh, look, there's a snack. And that has turned out to be very problematic for many of us, meaning Americans, because it sort of went hand in hand with obesity rates in America, right? So back in the day, like when our parents were growing up or our grandparents, there were 3 meals a day, right? And there weren't a lot of options for snacking like there are now. I mean, think about it. When you get a cup of coffee, there's how many choices of snacks at Starbucks. When you go to get paper supplies at Staples, there's Butterfinger bars and bags of mini Oreos and tons of things you could be eating right now. When you go to a sporting event, someone's trying to sell you snacks. Someone's always trying to sell you snacks. There's so many opportunities for us to eat because we're a nation of snackers now. But that doesn't mean you need to be, and that doesn't mean our bodies, hey Mike, that doesn't mean our bodies want it. Here's what actually should be going on. So we are perfectly capable of going from lunch to dinner if lunch is adequate. For example, if you have the right ratio of fat and protein, your blood sugar will be stabilized and you won't feel the need to snack. Like you won't be hungry, especially once you get over the psychological, it's 4 o'clock boredom. I remember when I used to work in an office, like at 3:34, everybody would sort of just wander towards the break room, no matter what was in there. It could be the weirdest thing you've ever seen. People would eat it because they're in the break room or the vending machine or whatever. A lot of that is just because you're bored or because your lunch was not properly balanced and your blood sugar crashed. Next thing you know, you're eating a Snickers bar. It happens. So if your lunch has the right sort of macronutrient balance, you won't need that. So what to do instead? Have proper meals. You can be able to go the distance. So for example, when you have the right kind of food, you can easily go from dinner all the way to breakfast because you're sleeping for ideally 6 to 8 hours of that. And you're no longer a snacker. Because snacking is basically entertainment, it's boredom, it's a really bad habit we've all bought into collectively, and we don't need it, but everybody tells us we do. Like, why are we eating on the plane? Because someone offers us pretzels, right? I mean, whatever. Whenever we go anywhere, there's food. Any meeting I've ever gone to for my kids, there's always food. Coffee, there's this pastry thing, right? Lunchtime, there's food, even if it's after lunchtime. Dinner, food. There's always food. Even if it's a weird, quasi weird time, there's always food. Always food. How oftentimes do we eat food we're not really hungry for because it's there? Costco is notorious for this. They could give out samples, kind of like the break room, of the weirdest things ever. People will eat it because it's a sample and it's free and it's snacking, and people eat it even if they aren't hungry. So what should we be doing? We should be having meals that are adequate, that are healthy, that are filling, and really assess if you're hungry or if you're bored. Because odds are you're not hungry. You're just in that habit of eating something. I used to be in this horrible habit when my kids were little of after they went to bed, I would just feel this sense of like relaxation and just look for something in the fridge or the freezer of like, thank God I survived another day. I deserve something sweet. Because let's face it, when you have toddlers, surviving of another 24 hours is a sort you need to celebrate. But that was all mental. First of all, you don't deserve food. Secondly, sugar is not helping anything. And lastly, that was a habit. That wasn't a biological need. It was a bad habit I had gotten into that I had to break, sort of like biting your nails. So as we learn more and more about our body, and as we become more evolved with being aware of our needs versus our habits, it becomes easier and easier to stop doing those things. And also just be aware of when you're feeling an emotion and when you're feeling hunger. Because so many of us, they're so crisscrossed, we don't even know. If you all of a sudden have an intense desire for a specific food, that's emotional. Hunger's slow, and you would eat something not that exciting. That's it for the day. Have a really good Thursday, and tomorrow I'll talk all about why you need to stick to the rails, aka the perimeter of the grocery store. Thanks, and see you tomorrow. Bye.